Quilty friends, my name is Leanne. Welcome to my little spot in Podunk. Today we're going to be reviewing 3 different thread cutters. Each one of these I purchased on my own. From these 2 from Amazon, this from the company that made it. I am not affiliated in any way. I do not get paid for these, is what that means. So any links that I provide, I also do not get any money for that. This is just one quilter to another reviewing products. So let's just hop right into it. The first one we have is A+ cut, and it uses razor blades. All the instructions on the outside of the box. There's no instructions on the inside. The second one is called Chain Piece Thread Cut Gizmo by the Gypsy Quilter. I love the name of it, the cutting gizmo. It cracks me up for some reason. But here again, it comes in really good packaging. The instructions are on the outside of the box. The third one is called the Blade Saver Thread Cutter. Now I will say that I've had this one for over a year, actually almost 2 years. Okay, so let's just start off with this one. It's the A+ cut, and it's nice and sturdy. It's not heavy, but it's a little bit taller than the others, as you can see. This one's not put together yet, but it is taller. It's smaller than this one. So what I looked for was to see if it was going to slide, and it's got this nice gripper on the bottom. It's rubber, and so it's not going to slide around, but I'll show you that here in a little bit. And inside this was the razor blade. Okay, and see there's the razor blade, and we've got to push the new razor blade in there to get the old one out. So let's open it up, and here's our razor blade. It's inside the lid, which I think is very poor packaging. That's just my opinion, but I think it's kind of dangerous. Maybe they should work on that. Maybe putting a slot in the stand somewhere for the replacement blades would be a good idea, or a little box to put them in. Okay, to put the new blade in, we're going to push it in there, like so. And it just pushes out the new blade. Ta-da! It's just that easy. But if you got to be careful, because the first time I tried this, I put it in there beside it, and this all got jammed in there, and I thought I was going to cut my finger getting it out. So just make sure you're looking at it, and you do push right on the blade, and it's super easy. All right, so that's that one. I'm going to set it off to the side, and we will test the cutting in a little bit. The second one is the purple gizmo, is what I'm going to call it. It's pretty cute. It's got instructions on the box, and the instructions tell us there's a small little screwdriver there for changing out the blade. So we need to turn it over and get that screwdriver. Okay, there's the screwdriver. And that was really easy to get out of there. And the bottom of this also has a non-slip pad. It feels kind of like foam. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, and there's the little hole that we've got to use this teeny tiny Barbie screw with. So remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You turn it to your left, and it should come right out. Not the easiest screwdriver in the world to use because it's so tiny, but it's just a plain old Phillips head screwdriver. So if you've got one laying around the house, that'll work. And there's the screw came out, so I'm just going to lay those right there. Now we've got to get this backing off. It took me forever to get this backing off because it does not tell you how to take the backing off. Okay, so you just put your fingernail in there and it will pop it right out. Anything should be able to help it get out of there. Now I've already been in this thing, and I'm going to tell you right now, this was kind of scary to me. The original blade is right here. There's nothing to protect you from getting cut. They're really stuck to this tape, and this is the original blade. Now I want you to look. You see the little notch? Can you see that little notch in the edge of it? That's the only blade that has that little notch in there. Okay, this was the replacement blade. and it does not have the little notch. All right, that little blade was glued in here. The instructions said I should be able to just put this magnetic screwdriver on there and get that out, but I had to pry it out. I did get it out of there, but it was quite the chore, so be very careful when you're taking that blade out of there. But you saw how easy it is to change, or how hard it is to change. I don't care for it, but you know, maybe you're not as scared of cutting yourself as I am. So I'm just going to put that back on there. They could have put more tape on here because you just really don't have much to get a hold of. And you can't go to Purple Gypsies and buy these replacement blades. You just go to the hardware store to buy a replacement blade. Anyway, I couldn't find any blades to be found on any website, so I know you can buy these type of blades in the hardware store. So now all we got to do is put this back on there and put the screw back in. You know, it seems pretty solid, nice sound construction, sturdy. I don't think there'll be any problems using it. And I like that the blades, let me show you the difference in these. Okay, see how much of that, how easy it is to get your finger down in there, or a child to get their finger down in there, where it's going to be nearly impossible with the Gypsy quilter to get your finger down in there and get it cut. This one I would put away if you've got small children that stay at your house. That's really dangerous. Little bitty fingers, even my finger, can almost touch that blade, and if I really pushed it, it could touch that blade. You see how far away from it is, so think about that little 2 or 3 year old and what kind of damage that could do. Okay, the last one is the Blade Saver thread cutter. Now, I've had this for almost 2 years. I had thrown my instructions away, but I got on the website and they do have a PDF for the instructions that I printed out, and I put it in the same type of little bag that it came in when I bought it. The company has since grown by leaps and bounds. I was one of the first people to review this, but I reviewed it on my blog because, as you know, I'm a fairly new YouTuber. So I'll put it, you know, you can hop over to my blog and see the review for that. This is how it came. And this is by the Purple Hobbies company. It's just called Purple Hobbies LLC, I do believe. So this comes apart, and you can hear that clicking. That's because there's magnets in there. You see those little shiny magnets on the outside? That holds it together. And inside here, this pretty little flower has a screw on it. And we're going to take that screw out. I'm going to show you the magic about the Blade Saver. Now the style of the Blade Saver cutter has recently changed. I saw someone else that had one of these, and their screws were recessed down into the plastic. So she's changed her design a little bit, Heather has. Alright, so this unscrews really easy, and then that comes out. Now that you're saying, well, where's the blade? The blade is an old rotary cutter blade. And you see that I keep mine in my rotary cutter case that they came in. It's the old one. I've got another one with the new ones in it. But be very careful, because just like the other ones, but the other one was so tiny, it was so hard to get a hold of. And you just put your blade down in there and then replace your little flower on the inside. Now let me show you something. You see this little circle? And then there's a little circle right there. You match those up, and it'll just pop right down in there like that. Put your rivet on one side, your screw on the other, and screw it back together. Okay, now unlike the other two, you now have 5 cutting areas. So if this slot wears out, we're just going to turn it and use the next slot. So we put this back together, and you see those two little half moon shapes. Just make sure those are together, and you'll hear it click together. It's not going anywhere. That's snug as a bug in a rug. And you take your little flower and stick it down in that slot, and it's very secure. It also has little rubber grippers on the back to hold it in place. And should these fall off, on the Purple Hobbies website, they have replacement parts. They also have replacement parts for the screw that goes in the center should you lose it. I really like this one so far. I've used it for a year, so I shouldn't say so far. I like this one. I've been using it for a year. I'm testing the other two because I had never seen them before, and I wanted to pair them up against this one. And one more thing before we actually use them. These two, this is the only color that they come in, purple. The Blade Saver comes in 16 different colors. So whatever your color palette is, she has a Blade Saver that will match your sewing room, your style, your taste. She also sells this in a 45 millimeter blade and a 60 millimeter blade. So let's hop over to the sewing machine and see how they work. Okay, since they all three have a razor blade in them, I'm pretty sure that these are going to cut. But you know, it's all about the angle, if it works well, if you feel comfortable. So this too would also matter whether or not your sewing machine is down in a table or if it's sitting on top of a table. So I think the taller ones would work better for people whose sewing machines sit on top of a table, because you would have it sitting over here, your machine would be right here, and you'd just be cutting away, right? To where mine's flush. So I'm having to lift my arm up a little bit and hold it up there in midair, and oh my gosh, I am just so wore out by the end of it. No, I'm not. But you know, I could see as I got older that this might become an issue. You know, we lose muscle mass, so it works really well. Razor blades are great. So we can't complain about that. It doesn't want to slide around at all. There was a little bit of wobble there because I had it setting on this seam. So, okay, it is a little bit off, but that's no big deal. I don't see where that hinders the function of it at all. That's the A1 or A+ cut. It works. Next is the Gypsy Quilter, and it does not wobble, and it seems to be a little bit more snug. Yeah, this one still, it wants to slide fairly easy. This one does not. All right, does it cut? Well, razor blades usually do. And there we go. Yes, it cuts like butter. It's a great little, it works. So if you like purple and you like, it's nice geometric design, this is a great little one. Those little blades kind of give me some problems, but you have to understand that I'm 52. My fingers aren't as nimble as they used to be, and it gave me some trouble. So, but I think as far as safety, this one may be the safest one when it comes to whether or not a child can get their finger down in that little slot. So that's something to think about. The last one is the Blade Saver. Now, I've been using this for a year, so I absolutely love it, and I already know that. And it's going to cut. It's got a razor blade in there, and you can always put a new blade in here anytime that you want to. You don't have to put an old one. I prefer to use an old one just because I'm thrifty like that. I'm cheap, and if you guys have been around for my channel for a while, you know that I'm all about making do with what you have. So this is a great little one. I like it because it's compact. I don't need something big. I like it because I can reuse the blade. I like it because if I want to go to a friend's house and sew, I want to pack up a bag, I can just put all this together, throw it in my bag, and take it with me. This would make a great little stocking stuffer for your quilty friends, or if you're going on a quilt retreat and you want to get everybody something, these are awesome. Now, it's all about the price, right? All of us, it's all about the price. I don't care what it is. Most of us are like, how much does it cost? We don't just go in there all willy-nilly and buy stuff. So we'll start with the first one first. And how much does it cost? I had to write all these down because I'm getting old. I'm 52. Okay. The A+ cut I bought on Amazon for $10. Is it worth $10? I would say yes. It's nice solid construction. This baby I don't think is going to break if you drop it on the floor. It's solid. The Gypsy Cutter, I paid $13.86 for this on Amazon. So is it worth $13.86? I don't know, guys. With both of these, my other complaint was that you're having to rebuy blades. You're having to buy blades to put in it. With the Blade Saver, you're reusing blades, if that's what you choose to do, which is what I choose to do. So are the blades going to cost a bunch for these? Either one of them? No. You've got a razor blade and a knife, or a box knife blade. It's not going to cost much, but $13.86, $9.99. All right. The Blade Saver that I love is right now $18 on the Purple Hobbies website. But I like that it's compact and it folds up. I just find that it's better. Typically, I buy the cheaper products, and that's just me. I'm that way with fabric. If I can find the same thing cheaper, the same fabric cheaper somewhere else, I'm going to buy it. But for the rest of the year, I have a code, and the code will be down in the description box. The code is good for 20% off your total purchase. So when you put the code in on the website, when you're checking out, it'll automatically take 20% off your total purchase, no matter whether it's $18 or it's $200. You're going to get 20% off. I do not make anything off you using this code. She asked me to be affiliated, and I said no, but I would like to go ahead and get the code for my followers so you guys could save money. That's what this is all about, me helping you. So that's that. Now, before I go, I do want to plug one more thing, and I've done a video on this also. This is called a binding wheel. It's also made by Purple Hobbies, and I'll put a link to it. This is a wonderful little tool. I absolutely love it. I am typically one of those people that put binding on the floor in between my feet to put it on a quilt, and this changed that. I don't do that anymore. This makes it so much nicer. My binding doesn't get dirty. I don't have to worry about having lint all over it. It's called the Purple Hobbies binding wheel, but I'll link to that video. Once again, 20% off on anything on the Purple Hobbies website using my code, and it doesn't matter how big your purchase. So if you want to buy everybody in your guild one of these, you're going to get 20% off, okay? All right, guys. As always, please like this video and subscribe. That way, when I make a new video, you don't miss out. And that little thumbs up, that's something that you can do that takes very little time, but it helps me out a lot. So until next time, guys, I love you. Bye-bye.